Alrighty, Dragon Ball Super, episode 94. Revival of the Evil Emperor, the mysterious awaiting assassins? Aku no Teo Fukatsu, Demukairu Nazo no Shikaku Tachi? In this episode, basically everybody just makes their final preparations for the Tournament of Power. So I don't know what the title seems to think this episode is about, but the mysterious assassin part of it is just the last very small part of the episode. So if anything, maybe next episode should have been called this. Except for the fact that Frieza comes back, so there's that. So we start with Goku coming back from last episode, recruiting Frieza. He goes back to Bulma's place, doesn't want to tell his friends about Frieza's bargain, or Frieza's terms for coming back to life and helping them. It's understandable why he doesn't want to tell them, because it's kind of bad. Frieza's a bad dude, and we wouldn't want him to come back to life. But Whis, of course, makes a good point, saying that what's worse, this guy being alive or the whole universe being destroyed? I hope Krillin was listening to this, because he wasn't gonna join because Goku lied to him before. So we go to Quitela, meeting with Sidra, the gods of destruction, and trying to kind of form a plan. It's interesting how Quitela seems to be only going after Universe 7, like he thinks they're the biggest threat or something. So he's forming this plan with Sidra, and basically Quitela lies to Sidra, saying that Universe 7 is planning to go after Universe 9 first. To kind of get Sidra to act preemptively. And this whole thing makes me wish that this stuff happened way earlier on. Cut out a lot of the like super filler elements of this arc and put this stuff in instead, because then we get a little bit more development for the universes, and we could have had a little bit more of a subplot intertwined in this arc, instead of just this last, like, what is it, like an hour left or something like that to the tournament. So they really screwed themselves with this time limit stuff. It's really, in my mind, putting a major strain on how they are telling this story. And so they're just trying to shove in just too much into this little bit of time frame here. And also with all these subplots just coming in all of a sudden here, this arc as a whole has felt really like Naruto, basically, where they stretch a 5-episode story into 20 episodes. So all this stuff is kind of just feeling like the Frieza saga with the 5-minute Frieza and Super Saiyan Goku fight, basically, before Namek explodes. Not saying it's terrible, I'm just saying that it's dragging. So moving on, of course they haven't told the kids Goten and Trunks because they're just kids, I guess. And there's this little funny picture that they drew of Frieza and put him on the bulletin board or whatever, and I think that was kind of funny. And Trunks asked about him. This is one of my favorite parts of the episode, was when Vegeta, of all the people, went up to Trunks and says, "Frieza has turned over a new leaf." It's like it's the hardest thing in the world for him to do, and it shows his like internal struggle with what he's doing. And that was such a funny scene for Vegeta to like just get over how much he hates Frieza to utter those words. So that was funny. And then we get a little bit of snippet of Roshi training, doing his electric technique. I forgot the name of it, but he was doing it against Yajirobe of all people in Korins Tower. But I thought this was a nice scene. I thought it was a nice character moment for Roshi when he's about to leave, and he said, "I wanted to train, you know, bring back some old memories of my youth." So that was a nice little character building scene a little bit for Roshi. And we go to another kind of character building scene for 17, 18, and Krillin, even a little bit with Marin too. Krillin and 18 drop off Goten and Trunks to the island, which Goku convinced Krillin and 18 to take them there. Why couldn't they just fly there? I mean, they can fly around the world pretty easily, I would think. It's like Goku trusted these two kids to destroy Majin Buu, and now he can't trust them to fly by themselves to an island? It just seems like it's taking this whole they're just kids thing to a whole new level, you know? But I did enjoy this scene. I liked 17 and 18's little interaction with each other, which obviously makes you feel that they're on not such good terms, or at least they've stayed really distant, because 17 can't even remember Marin's name. So it's implied that he has seen her before, because he says that she's gotten a lot bigger. So he's obviously seen her at least once since she was born. But they're obviously not on the best terms, and of course 17 seems to keep his distance from everybody else. And I think it's kind of funny between this whole 17-18 thing. Krillin's like right in the middle of it, trying to force himself to be nice, and 18 keeps telling him not to force his niceness. So that was kind of funny. So there was a lot of humor interjected in this little bit of tension between their obvious strained relationship there. And when 17 forgets Marin's name, you see the look on 18's face, and she's like, I'm gonna kill you if you do that again. And then there's 17's lame-ass joke that he's 17 years old. And then even Marin gets a little bit of character development here in that she wants to stay with Goten and Trunks to protect the island. And you think, wow, she's such a young little girl who's not super strong as far as we know, even though they say she's stronger than she looks. But then you gotta think it's probably only for a few hours because the tournament's only supposed to be, 48 minutes or something like that. So they go back to Bulma's, 17 gets out of the thing, and Piccolo jumps down, and they have this interesting little stare down, and Piccolo takes off his hat. You think they're gonna have a rematch or something, but if you think about it, 17 was going up against Super Saiyan Blue Goku, whereas Piccolo was not white, matching up to a Mystic level Gohan, or Ultimate Gohan. So Piccolo would stand zero chance. But all Piccolo wanted to do was give him a handshake. Piccolo is probably the most mature member of this entire team, putting all of his pride and all of his personal stuff aside for the sake of what needs to be done. So finally, we get to the title of this episode. Frieza comes back to life with Baba. He has a halo. I'm really glad how they showed off how this is potentially a very bad idea when Frieza immediately just punches the shit out of Goku in the gut. And that could have been bad, but Goku just punches him right straight back in the gut. So that was a nice little moment between these two hated enemies. But before they leave, there's Sidra's assassins, the Universe 9 assassins apparently. And there's this leader dog person. Everybody else has masks as far as I saw. And he doesn't really say anything. And, you know, Frieza's been stuck in hell for a long time. So he's obviously getting really antsy to do something, to do some fighting. And he just death beams the guy. And I noticed that he death beamed him in the shoulder. So is he remembering what Goku said about not killing? This is very interesting. So I'm wondering in the next episode if Frieza's just going to be going around literally killing them. That's what it kind of looks like in the next episode preview. So I'm thinking, why did he just shoot him in the shoulder? He should have just shot him straight through the chest or the head or something, you know? So obviously Frieza being really antsy from being cooped up in hell for so long, he wants to fight. So he transforms into his golden form. Now this is the coolest transformation I have seen in a long time. The lighting was really cool. They had this shot from Earth showing the golden glow, and then you see it reflected on Goku too. And the shot composition here was really dynamic. The music was great. This whole sequence was freaking awesome. So they're ready to fight the assassins. And that's what the whole next episode looks like it is. Frieza just obliterating all the assassins. Goku's fighting them too. And they're trying to get it done quick so that they can get to Bulma's place to get to the tournament. So they're interjecting a whole nother episode for this whole Frieza assassin subplot here in however much time they have before the tournament starts. Of course, you could say it has a little bit of tension with them not being able to make it to the tournament in time. So I think maybe in the next episode, they're going to fight. You see a shot of Sidra, and I think they're going to be fighting, and I think Beerus is going to show up and have a little bit of a confrontation with Sidra, maybe. I think that would be pretty cool. But anyway, so this entire episode was made up of the people getting ready to go to the Tournament of Power. So you could say it was an entirely pointless episode. I did like the little character moments here and there, and the animation and or at least the art in this episode was fantastic. I think the shading and the scene with 17 and 18, the lighting on Frieza's transformation, even the little part where Goku's like training a little bit before Baba shows up with Frieza, the animation seemed really fluid. So this episode looked great. I feel that Super is progressively getting better in that department. But that's episode 94. Let me know what you thought in the comments and share the video out with your friends. I'll see you in the next one.